comes to innovation, we're living in just an incredible time. But it's not the technology that amazes me. It's the pace of innovation that I find astounding. Look at generative AI, for example, right? Everyone's talking about ChatGPT. Everyone's talking about what you can do with generative AI. But what's amazing to me is that in just a few short months after ChatGPT launched, it was pervasive across the world, and it led us to rethink so many industries, to rethink so many categories. Now, some people say 5G has not lived up to the hype. But I can tell you that 5G, 5G Advanced, and 6G, they are going to enable an incredibly rapid cycle of innovation. And I know that because at Nokia, we're working with customers today to drive incredible transformations. You know, when you take sensors, you take artificial intelligence and analytics, and you combine those things with high-powered, low-latency networks, you have the opportunity to rethink industries. You have the opportunity to rethink industries that haven't changed the way they operated in over 35 years. And we're doing this today. So I'm going to share a few examples of how we're doing it today. But first, I want to talk a bit about the future. By 2030, the world will have undergone an incredible transformation. The technology that 5G enables, it's going to improve things like safety, productivity, and it's also going to improve the quality of our lives. If you look at the manufacturing industry, for example, that's an industry that's going to be dramatically transformed. So let's do just that. Let's think about the day in the life of a factory worker in 2030. So it's 2030, you wake up, you have breakfast, and you're taken to work in a self-driving vehicle. Now that vehicle, it communicates with the highway system's digital twin. And that system, it routes all the vehicles on the road. In some cases, it even reconfigures the roadways in which directions the lanes flow. It optimizes the traffic perfectly so that there are zero delays. And then when you get to work, you attend an immersive hybrid meeting. Now you're there in person, but some of your colleagues, they attend remotely. And together you review the metrics from last night's production run. But those metrics, they've already been analyzed, they've already been summarized, action items and recommendations, they've already been created by your AI system. So then after the meeting, you get some alerts that the machinery requires adjustments. So the machinery requires adjustments to maintain perfect optimization. So you put on your AR glasses, and through those glasses, you're able to see instructions on how to make those adjustments. But not just that, images are overlaid on top of the machinery itself, showing you how to make those adjustments. And you get notified when you've completed each task precisely, down to the detail of how to torque each specific bolt. Then after lunch, you attend a meeting where you review some workflow changes as humanoid robots are being implemented to take on some repetitive tasks. Now those robots, they're going to work alongside your team, but at the same time, they're going to free up some resources. Those resources are going to start planning the next assembly setup, which is completely modeled based upon digital twin data. Everything is going to be 100% optimized before the machinery is even ordered. So listen, I can't get into the details of how you're interacting with every piece of technology in this short time frame today, but I think you probably get the point. Productivity is up, defects are down, and the streak of zero safety incidents continues. And by the way, when you get home, your daughter explains how in anatomy class she learned personally from Dr. Wilson Greatbatch, the pacemaker's inventor, about how it works to regulate the heart's rhythm. She explains that in front of her, there was a 3D version of the heart with its electrical system all highlighted, right? Now, what I described, that might sound a little scientific to you, right? Maybe it sounds, sorry, I'm trying to click here. Maybe it sounds like a show you watched on Netflix. but I can tell you it's much closer than you realized. And what I described was the metaverse. And actually, to be more accurate, what I described were the metaverses, because there will be 3 distinct metaverses: a consumer metaverse, an enterprise metaverse, and an industrial metaverse. Now, most people talk about the consumer metaverse. That's the concept of putting on VR goggles. That's gaming and entertainment. But then there's an IT metaverse. The IT metaverse is where you'll find simulations, right? That's where you'll find immersive learning opportunities. But the metaverse that I get most excited about is the industrial metaverse. The industrial metaverse is where operations will be transformed. That's where you'll find digital twins. That's where you'll find predictive maintenance. That's where we're going to rethink industries. And the industrial metaverse, it tends to be OT-centric or operational technology, while the enterprise metaverse is IT-centric. I often describe the industrial metaverse as something that gets deployed in uncarpeted spaces. And by 2030, everything that makes sense to connect to the metaverse, it will be connected, right? And that metaverse economy is predicted to be between $8 and $13 trillion by 2030, right? The traffic from the industrial metaverse alone is predicted to surpass that of mobile broadband video traffic by 2026. And that's like 0 today, right? And traffic's dominated by broadband video. At Nokia, we're actively involved in the development of making all of this a reality. To date, we have deployed several hundreds of private cellular networks. These networks are deployed in mines, where we're seeing huge productivity and safety gains because the machines are able to be operated remotely. They're deployed in ports, where time is literally money, and everything needs to be orchestrated perfectly to avoid seconds of downtime. We've deployed networks that support the digital twins of the cell towers themselves, all the way to the human immune system. We've deployed networks that are connecting live video drone feeds to edge compute, where video analytics applications are looking at that video to predict maintenance requirements. We've deployed networks that are supporting augmented reality applications, autonomous mobile robots, automated guided vehicles, and those are deployed in factories and warehouses. When we're not improving worker productivity and safety, we're deploying networks that are improving the fan experience in stadiums. And with our commitment to sustainability, we're leveraging our expertise in technology to digitalize the world, because there is no green without digital. You know, every one of the examples I just used, they're all just permutations of the same exact thing, right? They're examples of digital physical fusion combined with human augmentation. You know, the possibilities are absolutely endless when you have a network that creates an environment that can sense, can think, and can act. So how do we get from where we're at today to that picture of 2030 I described? Well, at Nokia, we continue to make huge investments in the United States. We have over 7,500 employees in the US working on things like research into 6G, virtual reality, as well as deploying a bunch of those use cases that I described. You know, we see the US as a strong partner, and I just wanted to share a few thoughts of how we can continue to partner together to move the industry collectively forward. You know, first and foremost, we support the Infrastructure Act in order to level the playing field, right? To enable equality, we must ensure that every American has access to high-speed, reliable, secure, and affordable broadband. This must continue to be a priority. You know, we also see an increasing need for government support for the D and R&D. I think we do a pretty good job on the research part. Now, you may have noticed that in my description of 2030, I didn't say 5G or 6G once. Now, of course, the network enables everything I described, right? But it's all about the ecosystem, right? To drive the outcomes, to enable the new thinking of industries, it's all about this ecosystem. And we need to encourage that ecosystem, and we need to bring developers to build on top of this platform we call 5G. You've heard it before, you just heard it from Neville. It's really critical that we establish a spectrum pipeline to prepare for that next phase of wireless innovation. Spectrum is the lifeblood of the future of our economy. And we need new licensed bands to support the growing demand, to spur innovation, as well as to ensure international competitiveness. And lastly, sustainability. Hands down, sustainability of our planet will be the most important topic we discuss over the next 10 years. ESG is a pillar of Nokia's strategy. We look forward to opportunities to collaborate in that area as well. So at Nokia, we believe in the power of partnership. It's the key to driving progress, to driving innovation. You know, we're thrilled to be a trusted partner of the federal government. We're looking forward to opportunities to continue to collaborate in these areas around the digital divide, cybersecurity, ushering that next phase of innovation, and yeah, saving the planet. Together, I know we can rethink industries, we can increase safety, we can enable equality, we can greatly improve the lives of U.S. citizens. We can only do it by working together. Thank you.